Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for watching another episode of the Recap and Record podcast. Unfortunately, this episode is going to be very lossless. So essentially what happened was I thought it would be a great idea for us to use Riverside FM to record our podcast. I've used it successfully once in the past. Los told me it was trash. I said, hey man, maybe it was just your guess or something else. Maybe it was a factor. It's better now. We should try it again. And so we did. And the episode 6 was great. And we did episode 6 on Riverside FM. There was one tiny little hiccup, but I did it out in editing and you guys really didn't know about it and it's fine. And it was great. But this time, unfortunately, we just don't have, I like 13 minutes at the end of the episode. I have some of Los's footage, but the majority of this episode is just going to be me. I apologize. This was not done on purpose. Riverside FM is completely to blame. I have canceled my subscription with them, and we will be using a Zoom Pro account from now on to film these episodes because, hey, it works. So I apologize to you guys and to Los, the viewers, and the experience of the Recap and Record podcast. We will do better for episode 8. I promise we will be back, and Los and the camera and the setup and everything will be fixed, and we'll get it right, and we'll do better. Until next time, I'll see you guys in episode 8, but please enjoy episode 7 because this episode was fantastic. So many behind the scenes, so many things happening, so many pieces are moving. So check it out. Here is episode 7 of Recap and Record following The House of the Dragon on HBO. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's another episode of Recap and Record podcast. I'm your host, Levi, joined with my best friend, Los. He's here too. Yes, he's host of the 280 Plus podcast. And boy, oh boy, it's episode 7 of The House of the Dragons on HBO. Man, wow. Wild.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow is an understatement.
Wow. Yo, this show it's getting crazy. And all right. I don't know when we were gonna ever talk about this. I don't know if you had this in your outline, but like, yo, you sent me those Joe Rogan clips, right? Like and I'm like, are we watching the same show here, Joe? You know what I'm saying? And if we are, and if you're confused, Joe Rogan, this is to you, JRE. Joe Rogan Experience. Watch our podcast because we got you, bro. We got you with all the explanations.
Right.
Your friend there, he seemed real perplexed and confused. And like, I'm like, are we watching the same show right now? Because this show is amazing. Like, granted, maybe, and that's the thing. Like, maybe it's because we watch the show like it's homework. You know what I'm saying? And like, maybe we're digging into it. Like, is that what the casual fan confused? Because if you are. Right now, that's just promo for us because it's like just watch our show because I have people that watch the show. They be like, yo, y'all be catching stuff I didn't even see, and to me, I'm just watching it. I didn't know I was catching stuff.
Right.
Like we're the experts. We are the House of the Dragon experts, man.
Listen, man. Listen. I'm not gonna. We don't need to beat around the bush. So I sent, for those of you who don't know, probably have something in the edit on the screen or something, whatever. But I sent Los a clip. Joe Rogan, the Podfather, the man who allegedly started it all. There were podcasts before him, but you know what I mean. He doesn't like the fact that we got new actors. He doesn't like that the actors aged, and so we got new actors. Some of them were replaced, but not all of them were replaced.
But did he not know that though? Like, how did you not? Like,
no. It's Joe Rogan doesn't know any. Joe Rogan doesn't know anything until you tell him on his podcast.
It's not compelling.
No.
But the changing of the actors was a giant clusterfuck of a mistake.
Yeah.
Like, whoever greenlit that, like, where was the adult in the room?
Yeah.
Is there another fucking way here? You've got people committed to these people for hours and hours. They're committed to these particular characters. Now you're asking this, like, you have to just accept that you have new actors.
Yeah.
So now I know it's all bullshit.
Like that's the bit. Like he doesn't, now if the guy he was talking to had listened to this podcast, Recap and Record, then he would have been able to rebuttal Joe Rogan with an argument saying, well, actually they updated the characters because of this and the timeline and the story and the books and the plot line and this and this and that, much like our show does. So yeah, I mean, Joe Rogan, by all means, let us know and we'll take that traffic and half of your audience and a Spotify deal. We only need we only need 1%. Whatever you gave Joe, just give us 1%. Yeah, it's fine.
We don't need a lot. We're not asking for a lot.
Yeah, man.
We do this for love.
It's very interesting. I watched it today and I thought, I felt some sort of way when we got to a certain scene on the beach and when it came to the actors and the time jump. Go ahead.
Okay, keep going. No, I was because you were messaging me at that point in time when that certain scene, and I think we're talking about the same scene. And I was like, I'm glad I missed half of this because I was rewinding, because I rewind and like, oh, did I catch this? But I definitely did not rewind this. I said, come on, man, I'm over that. I'm over that part of the show.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
Right.
I'm over that.
It's
disgusting.
And so it felt a little interesting to me with the change of the actors because it was like, hey, like Matt Smith who plays Daemon and the King, like they're kind of like the same, but like Rhaenyra, it like seems to be at least what looks like or feels like twice as, like she went from like 15 to 30 and it's like, hey, what about the rest of the people? And I guess that was the point that Joe and his friend was trying to make. But I think that the showrunners and everyone else did a bang up job of fucking the casting. I mean, they look identical. Yeah. She looks like an older version of.
She looks like the mom. She looks like the mom, the original Aemond. And which, oh my God, when we'll get into that.
Yeah. No, it was insane. So
I actually didn't put that in my notes, but I remember that though.
Yep. We'll get to it in 1 second because we're unpacking this funeral scene, man, because it's a lot. And I saw a clip. I saw a clip and it was actually kind of hilarious. And it was just all of the cut scenes of everyone staring at each other during the after party of the funeral date. So
the repast. We call that a repast in the hood. You know what I'm saying?
So you have here in the notes, and I didn't quite understand it when I heard it either. Damon's odd chuckle. So Laena's uncle's giving the eulogy, and he's gonna play a bigger role next week as well. We'll get to that in a minute, but her uncle's giving the eulogy, and it pretty much just kind of, gives us a shot of everyone who is important there. Daemon's there, the kids are mourning, and everyone else is there to pass Daemon's wife. Laena, she's buried at sea. That's their tradition in Corlys's kingdom. So, and what's interesting is so we get to see the kids, and they're all kind of mourning in a different way. And we kind of got at this a little bit in last episode, but we see that Aemond is just kind of forever growing up in this kingdom. He's now drinking. He's flirting with the girls. Aegon. Yeah. And and I guess it was
UGMF number one.
Yeah. Ugly. Very adorable child number one for anyone who has been offended in the past.
Oh my God.
Very adorable child one and very.
We'll talk about that later, but again, we'll we'll get into that.
It's crazy, dude. So man, talk about like Lars in this episode. Lars Strong, just kind of in the background of every scene, just making sure himself is known by the queen and him and Alicent's relationship.
Like, why aren't you at Harrenhal? Like, I mean, like, nobody found that suspicious that you're in Driftmark. You're all the way in Driftmark,
right?
And we still don't exactly know where that's at, but like, you're all the way in Driftmark, and you should be mourning even though you did it, but you should be mourning your brother and your father's loss,
right?
I mean, and like, maybe some type of coronation that you're the lord of that, hall now. But it's like nobody stopped to say, that's weird that he's here. You know what I mean? Why is he here? Why isn't he back home? Because we heard Jace say to his mom, like, yo, we should be at Harrenhal.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mourning him. And she, he knows.
Oh, yeah. He loves dropping those little one-liners to his mom about who his actual dad is. Right.
Did you see that meme, though? Did you see that meme that I posted last week where it was like, actually, probably Kristen Cole is probably Jace's dad, but then the little boy is probably, the two youngest ones are probably Harwin's. And when it comes to the moon tea, like, and sure not taking it, yeah, I mean, because we actually don't see the timeline of when her relations start with what's her name.
It's an interesting take.
Like you said that, she in the books she does continue to pursue Cole, so like that's likely Cole's kid, right? That's probably Cole's kid.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the books say about that. I know that the Harwin Strong thing was just a strong rumor, and it was never like addressed like it was in this episode. Okay. So I think I'm not sure. I think that might for now be a hot take. I don't know if we'll ever get that answer or if it's just an internet meme at this point. So I'm not 100% sure about that. And dude, I'm God, thank God. Laenor and his feelings, and I can't do it with him anymore, and thank God we don't have to. Him in the ocean, why is he upset? I get it. It's his sister, right? And so I understand. Your sister passed away. But dude, I mean, your lover just got his head smashed in, and he was able to go through with a wedding ceremony. But like him just like standing out into the ocean, not being able to bear himself, which has been seemed to be deemed embarrassing by his father. Kind of making a scene there in the middle of the wedding court.
But I feel like the dad made more of a scene because, and I was like, why? He's like, get your patron, retrieve your patron. And I'm thinking like, and then everybody like stops and looks at him. Yeah. So it's like, all right, I know there's rumors that he's gay, like, people probably know whatever, but like, I think he drew a lot more attention to that fact because he's like, get your patron, whatever. And I'm like, oh man, you making it hot out here, Corlys. Like, what you doing, bro? Like,
and that was very interesting too, because we went from like having a midday, like, funeral ceremony to like, hey, everyone's going to bed, it's nighttime, and I guess hours passed. I don't know if I missed that jump or if it was kind of nighttime already and I'm not sure, but
it's kind of like dusk, I guess. Maybe it was just before the sunset would go, you know what I mean, whatever. So yeah,
got it. That makes sense. And dude, of course, I mean, and I think it's interesting. I'd love your take on if whether or not you think Daemon's actions later in the episode with Rhaenyra were in response to his like turned down offer by Viserys the king. Like, do you think it was just, do you think part of the reason why he does what he does was to get back at the king because he knows he doesn't have his blessing?
No, I don't think because I think the writing's on the wall. I think everybody knows that Viserys' time is up. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know if it was that. I think he always wanted Rhaenyra. You know what I'm saying? Like he's wanted her from even prior to them having any type of interaction. So like, I don't take it as a direct slight, but he did diss his brother when his brother was like, "Yo, what's up, man? Like, we need family, this and that." And like, that was kind of cool. Like, I was like, all right, yeah, like this is probably a time where y'all should make amends, you know what I mean, or something. But it in some ways it is, but like, I'm not gonna read too much into that because he already had these like, these carnal feelings for his niece, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, so I don't know about that.
Right.
But even prior, I think, was it prior to that, whatever, but like just the king, man, like he's losing, obviously we know he's losing it. Surprised he's still not dead. And he called Alicent Aemond. He called her his ex-wife, and like you could just tell, like, oh shit, like, you know what I mean? And it just speaks to like, losing a grip of his kingdom, losing a grip, and that's what this episode was about. Like, it really is about him losing grip on this, even though he didn't have a strong grip in the first place. Right. But when he dies,
it's his last stand. Yeah, it's his last stand. So and we'll get to those events here soon. But we jump then to Corlys and his wife. And it's basically just the conversation that needs to be had. Like, look, man,
Yes.
the kids aren't hers. Everyone knows it. We need royal blood to at least inherit our throne, if not the Iron Throne. So, we gotta, like, I don't know, maybe just like ditch this dude and skip that bloodline and maybe just disinherit the boy in favor for Daemon, because he kind of came through and gave us 2 pretty girls. So, and Corlys, he doesn't seem to play ball, right? He doesn't really like that idea, because, and he says what he says, history doesn't remember blood, it remembers names, right? So
yep. I respected that line because it just speaks to like him looking at it from a bigger picture, and like, there's something really true to that, because if we think about in real life, right? Sometimes, your biological people might not be the people that have your best interests, or, like there's people that are raised by step parents, that like where, when you look back at your life, it don't matter that you was blood related to somebody, because this other person was your, I thought that was kind of nice that, it's kind of, if anything, heartwarming that he's like, nah, man, like, yo, we got to protect these little boys. Like he's willing to ignore it, like I said, for the sake of history, not even for the sake of reputation and all that. It's like, nah, like we gotta, like I said, they're not going to remember that detail. Some people will, but like, hundreds of years after, we just only gonna see the names. We're not even gonna see that, whatever. So
right, yeah.
No, and it's interesting because the books, the Valyrians are not black, so like it was probably easier to hide, other than the hair color. It's probably easier to hide that they were not. I didn't like that either. I didn't like the Joe Rogan thing, and I didn't like the references that they were making and the things that they were alluding to, like, what happened to all the black people, and
they did, yeah.
I didn't like that. I just didn't like that because it's like they almost did us. I don't want to say black, but they did black people solid, but they kind of did it to shut us up in sense of like, all right, here's some representation. We're gonna make this family black, even though they weren't black like before that. And that's what I'm saying. Like they when they made that statement, I was like, y'all obviously you're not versed in none of what's going on. You know what I mean? Because they're not really characters like in the Game of Thrones that we know, or how they're presented is not the same. So
right.
But what was those rings that Rhaenys had? Because it seemed like she was upset. Like, did she have 2 rings? Obviously, one of them probably was her daughter's. But
I'm not sure.
Did she take off her ring?
What that represented, if it was just extra jewelry that she took off and was tired of wearing. Okay. I don't know if it was like a single to Corlys, like saying, hey man, like I'm done with this wedding ring. If you don't like start acting up. I'm not 100% sure. Okay. I don't know if it meant too much of anything. I'm not sure. I saw that too, and I know you mentioned it last week because they put it in the trailer. Yeah. And so it must mean something. So I'll look that up then and see, but I'm not. They didn't really give us any more context after that because it was pretty much just them agreeing to disagree about disinheriting, Laenor.
Yep.
So let me ask you this: I don't know about you, but there's nothing I like to do more than get freaky on the beach with one of my nieces and my uncle right after my wife just died via fire dragon. And so, dude, I'm with all the white people, and I kind of I ship them. I ship Ray and Day, and it's I'm excited, and I don't know why. It's a very strange feeling. I'm talking to my thing. Yeah, it's very interesting to me, and I don't know why I like it, but it's like, finally, I guess, like they've just kind of been like blue balling us the whole time, but now it feels a little weird to be excited about what just happened,
Yeah. So I think, and the biggest takeaway from that was, like I said, that scene, like I said, we get some questions that were answered. You know what I'm saying? And like she mentions that, they tried. Like she actually did try. Like they've tried multiple times, and she wanted to father Laenor's kids, whatever, and like, you know, and then we get some more details later on, but like, yeah, basically it just didn't go. Like, so because we were under the impression, like, yo, what the fuck? Come on, man, like you're being irresponsible now. Like, all right, we know you swing the other way, but like, bro, like, you know what I mean? You gotta shoot something. You gotta shoot something in there.
Right.
And but like it seemed like they actually did make an honest attempt, but it just didn't take. I mean, I don't know. Didn't work.
Yeah, it's
now
very interesting.
So yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I don't understand why, like what didn't, like why, like it's the Game of Thrones, like Daemon took Rhaenyra when she was like 15 years old to the brothel, like to the Red Keep where everyone was having sex in the same room. Like why weren't they just having like a freaky threesome with like 2 or 3 or 4 dudes with Rhaenyra and Laenor and just like, you know what I mean? Like be creative, people. Like,
and
like
it's
just not,
be creative and help him get to where he needs to get to. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, she's a solid wife though, considering like knowing that her husband ain't really into her. Like, I mean, she held him down like for you know what I mean? Despite him not really doing what he was supposed to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
and he talks about that too. So
I guess. Well, and then when he comes back in, I'm jumping ahead just a little bit, but we'll go back in a second. When he comes in and talks to her after the incident and is like, "Listen, there's a battle coming up, but I'm not going. I'm here for you. I'm down to stay. I'm gonna be the best husband in the world. Do this for you. Do that. Do this. Do that." And I'm like, bro. Of course she called it, and thank God she called his fucking bluff, because like, dude, no one fucking believed. Like now we've got 3 bastards running around. We've got 6 people deep or dead.
3 kids later?
Right. I'm about to go to war with this green bitch, and now you're stepping up as daddy warlocks over here. Like, you know what I mean? I can't do anything about it now. It's like, dude, just go. And I'm so excited to talk about how his story ended. But we pretty much
that's cool.
But we pretty much get Rhaenyra and Daemon on the beach, and they kind of solidify their relationship. And she kind of says, "Look, man, I need your help." And that's the weird part to me, is she refers to him as uncle.
That scene was so long. Yeah, why? Yeah, after he did what he did, don't call him your uncle no more.
Right,
just call him
right, dude. Right. No. It's like, hey, let's have sex and be like, "I need your help, uncle." No. Yeah. But then and then he gave kind of that smirky look on his face, like he knew what was up, like, yeah, let's do it. We're going to get married. And then, of course we have to, you can't be married unless your husband is dead. So we're going to take care of that here in just a little bit.
Yep.
But we.
So did you think? All right. So when we see Aemond again, right, on the beach, and I had to rewind a couple times. Like, did you think that he saw them? Like, or was he on a different part of the beach? Because that's my first initial. I was like, oh my god, and then he's going. But then we know he's on a different mission. But like when I first saw him, and I'm like, whoa, shit, he's on the beach. They're on the beach. Oh my god, like he just saw the treason.
You know what? I'm not 100% sure, and I don't think he did, or it probably would have been brought up during the court scene. But I think even if he did, like they're already proposing his older brother gets married to his sister. Like they've already had that conversation. So I don't think seeing like Rhaenyra, his older half sister, and his uncle, I guess, half uncle, are now hooking up. Like that's probably just normal to him. But like I don't know. I don't know if maybe he knows like those rules yet of the game. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what he knows or. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode is brought to you by Entertainment Earth. Listen, they've got everything Game of Thrones, and hot off the truck, they've got House of the Dragon stuff too. Okay, we're talking Funko Pops, we're talking dragon statues, we're talking castle models, we're talking, dude, I mean everything and anything. So all you have to do is head to Entertainment Earth. It's ee.toys, not .com. We're in 2020. 2025, people. It's ee.toys/recap, RECAP, ee.toys/recap. And what you're going to do is you're going to be shopping with 10% off, okay? And if you forget and you just Google Entertainment Earth, you're going to use that promo code RECAP at checkout. 10% off, free shipping over orders that are $39 or more. Listen, man, I've got all of the House of the Dragon Funko Pops in the cart. I'm gonna use promo code. Oh yeah, I think I might be getting all of them. It's a bit of an issue here, but if we're gonna keep them as a sponsor and keep this bad boy rolling, you're gonna need to go to ee.toys/recap to afford, so we can afford this Funko addiction. Maybe I'll get Los a dragon or something for his son. But listen, Entertainment Earth is where you need to go. For 25 years, Entertainment Earth has been the premier online destination for the latest and greatest toys, the most exciting action figures, and the coolest gifts and collectibles and pop culture has to offer. From television, movies, sports, celebrities, comics, internet memes, and every fandom in between, they drop new products daily and curate their selection so you don't miss out. Whether you're looking for something stellar from a galaxy far, far away with Star Wars, or from the streets of Gotham City and DC Comics, or everything Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon, they've got your back. Promo code RECAP at checkout. It's 10% off. The link's in the description down below. Back to the show. Thanks, guys. I don't think he saw that, or they probably would have shown us that, right?
Okay.
So as I said in last week's episode, we see a new rider for an old dragon. Of course, Laena is gone now, so her dragon Vhagar, the biggest of the land, she needs a new rider. And what better than Ugly Motherfucker 2? Aemond decides to go in, and he pulls out all the stops. He puts up his hand, he uses his superpowers, he Iron Mans him, and he's like, hey man, put the fireball away. Nice kitty. And then he gets on. And listen, dude, all I'm saying is, thank God they went backwards in their technology, because if this was like Dany's time and they didn't have the seats to ride on their dragons, this kid would have been dead. Little buddy was flying off the back of the dragon. Homeboy needs to learn how to ride a dragon first, my guy, before you take the biggest one in the damn kingdom.
He would have been out of there, bro. Like, like just like whiplash, like all that. Like he would have been gone. Like he would not have. He would have been vaporized. Like just it would have been splattered on somebody's like doorstep, bro. Like you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
That was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
So did you did you what did you think when he went into the cave? Did you think he was going to get the dragon, or did you think that was going to be it for one of the boys?
Yeah, I thought I didn't think it was gonna be that easy. I didn't think that he had all he had to do was speak some Old Valyrian and basically say, "Hey, let me ride you," and then the dragon's like, "All right," you know what I mean? And then he gets the dragon. I'm like, I thought maybe the dragon would have. I thought that's how he lost his eye. You know what I mean? Because we know that somebody so I thought maybe did the dragon scratch him or something like in the process of him doing that. And then we see later what happens. I didn't. It was too easy to me. I was like, that's easy. Like all you had to do was just talk to it and then get on it, and then now it's your dragon. And like, how do you get to just steal a dragon? Like, how do you get to just do that? Like, and also too, because like, why don't? You know what I mean? Why doesn't the little girl just get automatic claim to it? Why does she have to? What does she have to do? Because it ain't like she was gonna ride the dragon throughout the funeral.
It's the it's the same, man. It's the same like kind of explanation connection as like Harry Potter and the wand. Like the wands choose the wizard. Like you can't just pick up someone else's wand and cast a spell. Like it'll fucking blow up in your hand because it's not like yours. You don't have that bond, that connection, that whatever it is. And so with these dragons, they're just bonded to one person. That's why they're in the crib. They get them from birth. That's why Viserys was going to take him to like Dragonstone and pick out like a little hatchling or one that was just born, so they could skip that whole process and just get him a dragon because everyone else had one. But he was like, no, I'm a big man to do it by myself. And so he did, and he got it. And so, I guess that's just the rules of the game. Like if someone dies and they leave their dragon laying around afterwards, and a Targaryen who needs one just finds himself strolling along the beach, I guess he can just kind of try it out and see if he gets one.
Yeah. So real quick too, since we're talking about ugly motherfucker too, this past week, right? Our last episode, right? We had a fire clip. We had a fire clip of it was A1. Like Levi was in rare form. Like I watched that back and I laughed harder than I did when we were recording, and maybe I was just trying to like be professional. Yo. That clip was so hilarious. I I put it on YouTube Shorts, and then that's when people are a little bit more vocal on the shorts than even like your regular posts, whatever. They chime in.
Yep.
And I got it was more likes and dislikes, but I got quite a few dislikes. It's almost like even, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, all right. And then so the comments, we read the comments, and I don't know who these people are. But then they make these remarks about us. They call us sickos for making fun of kids. They're like, "Oh, how can you make fun of kids and you guys think you're cool and you're sickos and you're weird and this and that, whatever." And I'm thinking like, all right, time out. This is a show that highlights, inter family sexual relations, right? And we don't want to say the word, but yeah, it does that. They highlight assault, like brutal, right? And like gruesome murders, like by hand, like the craziest things happen to people. Like we're talking about people squeezing heads so they fall off. We're talking about decapitations. We're talking about everything and all types of graphic stuff. And you mean it so the little kids that are characters, because we're not talking about the actors, because they're made to look ugly. They're made to look like ugly motherfuckers.
Imagine that, bitch. Right? Imagine that. Imagine you go to the Field of Screams and someone has an ugly mask on their face. Like, what are we talking about?
And so they're made to look ugly, and we get this like label that we're weird because we made a joke, and so the child actors are exempt. Like they like we can't make a joke about them, and it was a harmless joke. And y'all need if you watch Game of Thrones, I would think that you had thicker skin than that. Like that's all I'll say. You know what I mean? So like whatever, we ain't taking it down. You know what I'm saying? I'm not taking my clip down, whatever. No, and we're gonna keep rolling. And if we feel like talking about it, and these motherfuckers, like the new one with the old grown, he's an ugly motherfucker too. He's even uglier. He's even uglier. Like so, like what are we talking about right now?
No,
you know I mean?
Well,
it's a part of the game. It's a part of the game. But
right.
I had to say something.
No, but it's of course. No. It's fun. But it's just the most ridiculous part is it's just like if you even understood an ounce of what the show was, these kids are freaking born from hundreds and hundreds of years of family and brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles and kids and cousins just having endless children and sex with each other. Of course they're going to be utterly disgusting. They have one DNA strand. They have 1 degree off about each of them. Like little buddy's over there. Oh, and the older ugly motherfucker one's over there talking about, I don't want to marry her. She's my sister. She's gross. Look at her. Like, bitch, look in a mirror. I know they don't have those in 129 BC, but like, dude, look in the water. There's a reflection in the pond somewhere. Like, you've definitely seen it. Like these little fucking like handsmaids walking around, the servants, they're not trying to have sex with you. They're only doing it so you don't cut their damn heads off. You ugly piece of shit. So then, of course, the pretty girls of the show, the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful daughters of Daemon Targaryen, they're like, someone's stealing Vhagar, the dragon. Oh my goodness. So then they go to the caves, right? I'm sorry. Now I'm just all hyped up. YouTube comments. So the kids start fighting. He's like, look, you little bastards, you guys need to calm the fuck down. He's my dragon now. There's nothing you can do about it. They keep going.
Yo, he started fucking them up though. Right. Like, why did he start? Yo,
he just straight smacked Shorty in the face. Like, I was like, yo, bro, he hit the little girl, bro. Her mom just died.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's insane, the kids. It's insane. I told you, Daemon, and so then like homeboy's not taking it. Listen, it's the most bipolar roller coaster of emotions this kid goes through. He knows exactly who his father is, but he won't stand to be called a bastard or like have his father questioned in his presence. You can talk shit behind his back and he knows the truth. But if you fucking talk shit to his face and in front of his little girlfriends that eventually one day he may or may not marry, he's gonna pull out a knife, he's gonna fucking slice half your face off. And I mean
so you're calling out Lucerys a little bit on that.
Well,
it was the little one that did the eye joint.
Yeah. So in the books, here's the difference from the books. In the books, it's the little baby Joffrey. He doesn't die, and he makes it, and he's the one who cuts the eye out. So little baby Joffrey is the one who does it in the books. But of course,
how did the baby do it? How did the baby do it?
I don't know. It's just a character change. Just what they changed in the book. He wasn't a baby, obviously.
Okay.
What the fuck? No, a little toddler. Okay. Yep, a 1-year-old. The 1-year-old crawled and he wielded a knife and he cut out the 14-year-old's eyeball. That's exactly what happened. I don't know. That's what they told me.
I ain't gonna lie though. Aemond can get busy. Now, granted, his competition wasn't that impressive, but like
he was kicking.
He was fucking them up, yo.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He was doing his thing, and then they wasn't having it, so they jumped him. You know what I mean? But he still, after they on him pounding him,
they all started beating the shit out of him.
And then, throws the dirt in his eye. Then he's about to smack. He was threatening to kill them. Like he said, "I'll kill you. I'll do this like your dad. I'll leave you like your dad." And then young boy said, "Hacha!" Like, and then just got him.
Sliced him open.
Sliced
out his eye.
One eye Aemond, baby.
Aemond, one eye Targaryen. Yes. And so, I mean, these actions need consequences, right? So we kind of get what I'm assuming is going to be like our last kind of duty of the king. Like, I don't think he does much after this other than holding this kind of internal family, like Jerry Springer Maury style court case. And so he's not having it. He's not fucking having it. All the adults are rushing in the room. Everyone sees what happens. The maesters are there fixing it. And he's like, all right, bitches, start fucking talking. Start spilling what happened. And so, of course, is what Alicent to Queen. Oh, she cut my boy's eye out. It's all their fault. Kill them all. Kill all of her kids. And then Rhaenyra's like, well, of course it was an accident, ho. Like, shut up. Like, obviously they didn't do it on purpose, even though they did.
Like and he attacked my boy. Yeah, it's like a he said, she said, which... I mean, that is how it went down, though.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
of course.
And I ain't like that. I don't like when people are the culprits, and then like they there's a sliver of them maybe being able to get away with it. You know what I mean? Right. All because of like who believes them and all that. So I was like, but it was classic. It was a classic, like, family moment. You know what I mean? Family a disagreement, whatever.
Yep. And so
and Aemond, he threw his mom under the bus, like because he's basically like, they called us bastards. That was Jason Luke's point.
So Jason Luke spilled the beans, and the king's like, yo, who spread the rumor? And he's trying to play the phone game to get to the end of the line, right? And we all know how that works. Yeah. And so he asks the boy, and he looks right at his mom, and I thought he was gonna say her. I thought he was gonna rat out his mom.
I thought so too.
Yeah,
he should have.
He should have. He fucking well. So and I'll kind of explain the events and what happened and what that means for the future here in a minute. But there's a reason he didn't, and so then he throws his brother under the bus, right? And so now Aegon,
he was like, me.
Right. Bitch, I was drinking. I was taking shots with the babe back there. I was like getting busy with one of the freaking laundry girls in the back. Like, what are you talking about?
Bitch, I ain't never tell you that. I ain't fucking tell you. I don't even talk to you like that. I don't even like your ass. I don't even like you like that, for real.
Right. So then Viserys gets in his face. He's like, bro, where'd you hear this rumor? Where'd you make it up? What happened? Where'd you hear about it? And then and I don't know if he was half drunk. I don't know if he was on something. I don't know if he was just ready to tell the truth or if he was just done beating around the bush. But these kids don't really give a shit. Like, they're in it now. They're in the game. They don't give a shit about this game. They're just playing it. And so he's like, homie, you're 75 years old and dying. You have one arm. Everybody knows. You can't go like this when the kids are around, but we can. Like, it doesn't make any damn sense. Like, everyone knows. Everyone knows who the kids belong to. And then Viserys is like, what? What are you talking about? Who's the kid?
What the fuck are you talking about?
What are these kids
what are you talking about, Willis?
And, like, it just cuts to, like, Queen to be, and she's standing there, like, looking at Corlys like, bitch, like I told you, like I fucking told you. Now here we are. And so, bro, I don't know about you, but when Alicent went off the deep end and was like, hey, sorries aren't going to cut it, daddy. What's the punishment going to be? And he's like, what are you talking, what? You think I'm going to have him, remove an eye of one of these boys? Like, what are you talking about?
Those are still my grandsons. Whether they're bastards or not, they're still my grandsons.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
And so
we're not doing that.
So he was like, what are you talking about? Just shut the fuck up, apologize, and move on. I'm done with this. Like, deal with it when I'm dead. Like, he's trying to keep the peace for as long as he possibly can. And so she's like, that's not good enough. And dude, when she pulled the Kristen, Criston, Kristen Cole line, listen to me right now. Listen to me right now. I just discovered something.
Christian Cole.
I just discovered something. My new neighbor. His name
is Christian.
No. He moved in like 3 or 4 months ago, and I just found out his name is Damien. And I've been calling him Daemon this whole time. The whole time I was calling Daemon from House of the Dragon, Damien. I was calling my neighbor who's named Damien, Daemon. And I just discovered this.
Different names.
Oh, I'm fully fucking aware. Yeah. So is Kristen and Christian, dude. I told Megs, I said, Lois is going to fucking grill me again today for getting names wrong. And I can't. It's all the same. You're lucky I can pronounce the one. You're lucky I can pronounce like Valyrian and fucking everything else. Oh man, it's
Valerie, the Valerie family. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. What would you say? What would you say instead of Valerian? What would you say?
I don't know. Probably like Corlys Valerine or something. I don't know, fucking dude. I don't know. Anyways, Alicent pulls the card. She's like, Kristen, listen, you're my boy. Go get the boy's eye. Go get it right now.
Yeah, nah, that was overkill. Like, come on, bitch. Like, what you think this is what's about to happen? Like, you think this is about to happen? You know what I mean? And like, even though he's sworn to her, he ain't head of Kingsguard. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I mean, it's the Herald, Sir Harold. Like, it's like, yo, motherfucker, like, stand your ground,
right. Like they neither of them know what to do, and it's like when she said that, he like I think Rhaenyra was just like over the fucking moon because she's like, oh shit, this isn't gonna happen, but we got her ass now because everyone's like, yo, wait, what'd the queen just say? What'd the queen just ask for? What's she using her power to do? And so of course, of course the king's gonna put Kristen in his place. Like, let's just take one step back, buddy. Like, I understand that you think when the king dies, you're in there and it's gonna be like a you and Rhaenyra thing all over again, but with the queen. But like, that's probably not gonna happen. So calm down. No. And it's like, and so
it's not gonna get you the pussy, bro. Right. It's not gonna get you the pussy, bro.
Right.
He was simping there. He was, I was
like,
bit. I don't know.
Little bit. Like, I get her an eye, she gets my dick. Like, it's an equal body part for body part. Maybe, I don't know. But of course, the king shuts it all down. He's like, listen, anyone who speaks to this shit again, I'm cutting their tongues out. And this was something from the books that we can learn. So this was a law that he put into place. And after the king put this law into place in the books, multiple people came and presented their cases, their evidence, their like 1.5 hour long speeches as to of why and how they know and believe that Rhaenyra's children were fathered to Strong. And then after like 1.5 hours of sitting there listening to the whole thing, he'd have someone come in and cut their fucking tongue out. And I think it happened twice. So like people were like volunteered for that shit. So a very interesting dynamic of people just trying to delegitimize the children. So So Alicent's not having it. So she grabs the dagger. It's a scene we saw in the trailer. Everyone's talking about it. We know. An eye for an eye is what she wants. She wants the kids. She wants the boy's eye because now her son's is gone. And this is the moment we'd all been waiting for, right? We see her for what she really is. She snaps. And this is and Rhaenyra's dripping. Oh, Daemon steps up, dude, and he's like, he pushes Cole out of the way, dude. Cole versus Daemon. Oh yeah, I don't think he wants that smoke, homie. I'm not.
Yeah, round 2. Yeah, he's like, you might have beat me in some jousting and that kind of fighting. He's like, but I fight dirty, bro. Like there's not an honorable bone in Daemon's body. You know what I'm saying? So he ain't about to just lose, especially some, now. Yeah, hell no. Yeah, it's we going for broke, bro. Like, I mean, dirty, all that type of stuff. We going there. Dirty Daemon. That's Dirty Daemon right there.
Team Dirty D,
you mess with Dirty Daemon?
It's crazy, man.
Dirty D, like
God, Daemon. He's
Dirty
he's on
D, give it
this
to Dirty
episode,
D.
man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So and then of course the girls, she cuts her just a little bit as they kind of like get rushed away, and Rhaenyra makes it like real known. And man, I made a note of this too, dude. They showed it 2 times with the eye and with Ray's arm, but man, the stitches in 129 BC are gnarly. I wouldn't want like I don't know, man. They're thick ass needles and that. Oh man, it looks nasty, doesn't it? I wouldn't want.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty bad.
So and this is a. So go ahead, go.
No, I was gonna say, and then after that, like Aemond, like which this is, I gotta give him props. You know what I'm saying, for that. Like he stepped up and he was like, nah, mom, don't mourn the loss of my eye. I'm gonna chalk this to the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, sure, I ain't got no eye, but you know what I got? I got a motherfucking dragon. The biggest fucking dragon in the realm right now. So what's up? Like, it's worth it. It's worth it.
And that was a line directly from the book. I might have lost an eye, but at least I gained a dragon. And and so to your next point, we see Otto, kind of just going over everything that happened with his daughter, the queen, and he was like, "Yo, don't be mad at the boy. He's right. We're going to need all the firepower we can get because our family doesn't have any dragons, and now we've got one of their biggest ones." And he's like, "Listen, Chip, I haven't seen this side of you, and now I'm fired up." So now Otto has everything in place that he is going to need for next week to pretty much make way for the king's death and put his family pretty much on the Iron Throne. And so, I mean, he's proud of Alicent. He's proud of his grandson because he got the dragon away from the Blacks. And I mean, he's basically like, look, everything's going fucking according to plan. I'm back. You're good. And so this is what Alicent has now learned from the events of the chaotic court. She learns that even though Rhaenyra is the heir to the Iron Throne, she learns that what happened. She can now cut her without consequences. She can get people killed like the Strongs without consequences. And as soon as the king dies, she can then now do whatever she wants without any consequences. So Alicent's actions are just going to keep growing bigger and bigger and bigger, obviously, until we get to the dance. So her and her dad are just ready to kind of rule that Iron Throne.
Yeah, so I don't know, but the only thing is, though, again, like obviously we're jumping a little bit of time and all that, whatever. But actually, not that much time jumped from last episode to this episode. But like, all right, they don't even roll out fully that he was the hand of the king. He's just sitting there with in the funeral scene with the pin on there, or whatever. So it's like I think, like. Show us that. Show us like there was like maybe some because there had to be some resistance somewhere. Maybe not with the king because maybe he or even show how much power Alicent really has, and like placing her dad back as the hand, like do something like that, like and that's the thing, that is the critique about the time jumps. It's like it does feel like it feels miniseries-ish. It feels like, how much are y'all gonna go because y'all skipping all these things, and we know Game of Thrones is not a wasted line of dialogue, right? Like they gonna they'll get there, but it's gonna take their time. Now, granted, we don't got time for 8 seasons. We probably don't got 8 years, 10 years to do 8 seasons again. But it's at the same time, there are some key plot points that it's like. I think we need to see that on screen. Some of these things don't need to be happening off screen. Like we need that action because because some of these scenes are like You know what they could have did? They could have showed Otto being the hand instead of that long ass, intimate scene on the beach.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't know. Like, let's be a little more economic. We get it that that's what they do. We don't need.
And would it be so bad if maybe like we didn't do as big of a time jump to cover some of those things, but maybe just spend half an episode in like year 5, and then halfway through episode 6, like just have a thing that says 15 years later, and now we have the new Rhaenyra and the new cast and everything else. So we just know that, we just mentioned 15 minutes ago that we're going to suggest Otto Hightower back as the Hand of the King. And now we jump to like maybe, whatever. And then boom, we see that ceremony, and then boom, then it's Laena's funeral or something. I don't know. Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's just kind of, I think you're right. And I think it's interesting. We are getting one final time jump next week. So episode 8, 9, and 10 will all be consecutive in the same realm of the time space. So next week is our last time jump.
Yes. Okay.
So then we see, of course, as they do, the uncle and his niece talking in their language, their snake tongue, I call it. And they pretty much said, listen, in order for us to restore the house, in order for people to be okay with Rhaenyra on the Iron Throne, and in order to restore everything that's going on and get this Alicent chick out of here, we've got to get married. Like, I need your help, Uncle. Yeah. Like, listen, I know you just laid it down on the beach, but now I need you to do something for me because I need your help. And so he's like, well, you can't marry me unless your husband's dead. And so, he's like, Laenor's a nice guy, but homie's got to go. So, so we kind of see like this setup scene. Daemon's lurking in his cloak again. He's talking to, I don't
know how to say his name. I don't know how to say his name.
I'm not attempting it. Nope, I'm not doing it, but he's talking to some guy. And so Daemon's like, look, man.
Is it Korth? Is it Korth? I don't know.
I think so.
The lover. Right. Laenor's lover.
Yeah, Laenor's new boyfriend. And so he's like, look, dude, you can go you can go over here. There's this island over here. You got enough gold. I'll give you some gold. And you can change your name. Doesn't matter who the hell you are. You guys do whatever you want over there. Let's go. But you got.
I just need it quick. I need a quick death.
Right. And he knew he could get him to do it. And so, with witnesses and everything else. And so, what did you think? What was your reactions in this moment? The fight scene, the body, the parents' reaction, and then
so
go.
Okay, yeah. So, man, when they put the plot in place, I was like, damn, dude, is this guy gonna turn his back on this dude that's been like, holding him down for all this time, whatever? Yeah. So I was like, dang, like that's kind of ruthless. Like how much money was he giving him? Because what he put in his hand, I know that
was just that was for like his bread for the week. Yeah, that was for like his wine for the week, because that was like 3 gold shillings. Like that'll last him a week. That's not enough to sail away forever. So I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't know. And then when, and I'm like, how are they going to get this witnesses thing going on? Like, I'm like, is it going to be in front of everybody, whatever? So, we see how it kind of plays out, whatever. With Daemon, he choked somebody out, right? And I guess that's who ends up getting burned, right?
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
Correct. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, but and then we see the fight scene, like, and he just kind of starts the fight, and it was an awkward start of a fight, like, and I don't know why I didn't think like, oh, this is fake, whatever, but like, it was this weird. It was like, oh, you've been looking down on me,
right? What are you doing in my father's chambers, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and then the little servant boy, he sees it, whatever. He goes to run back. As he's running back, this whole scene, Corlys is pissed off, like, how the fuck you let this happen in my court, whatever. And then they get into the room, whatever, and then we see a burning body, you know what I mean? And then the other guy the lover is out of there. So I'm like thinking, like, damn, they killed him. However, yeah, I mean, I know, there's a decomposition aspect of bodies, but that little skeleton guy did not have any dread, like he didn't have any hair. Like so like when I think about it, I'm like, they bought that? They bought that?
Well, I would imagine
like hindsight.
I would imagine your hair's probably the first to burn. The body looked like it was in there for like maybe 20 minutes. It looked like a pretty crispy
I don't
body.
know. It was really crispy.
Yeah.
So and we don't know how much time jumps from that. So
right.
I'm like, damn, they really like he got him out of here. Like, you know what I mean? So now and then all throughout this, right? Isn't it like montagey and then they're doing the wedding and all
Daemon's
that?
Daemon's doing like a voiceover and then bam, we cut straight to the wedding. As soon as they kind of tell us that Laenor's dead. They cut to the ceremony where they're both in like these tan garbs. Both of their children are there. And you know, it's you could kind of like tell, man, like I've seen clips on Twitter and like photos and screen grabs and stuff. Like this is what Daemon has been waiting for like the last like 15 years. Like he's been waiting for this day because he now knows this is it. This is his ticket. It's his one shot, and he's taking it, and he can, and he did, and
so. All right, man. If our weddings were, I mean, I know you're not married, you know what I mean, yet or whatever, but like, if weddings were that, you know what I mean, where you're like doing all this like blood stuff and cutting your lip and kissing the lip. Like how many people would be down for that? Like I don't know. I think I don't know. Like in our modern days, I'd be like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, now you'll probably chalk this up to one thing and one thing only, and I'm sure I'm right here. But like Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly like have vials of each other's blood, like just around themselves, and I'm sure they do shit with it when they're in the bedroom. And dude, I wouldn't put it past them. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, just some weird spiritual shit. I don't know.
That's WPS, man. WPS.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Hashtag WPS. That is some white people shit. Yeah, it's very strange. I don't know what it symbolizes. I assumed their wedding ceremonies would be surrounded by fire, like why fire wasn't involved instead of blood.
Yeah.
But I don't know why the dragons weren't there. Like, does Rhaenyra have a dragon? We have only seen Rhaenyra on her dragon like one time when she was 10 years old. So I'm very curious to see her back on a dragon again. Very curious.
Yeah.
And so then the wedding scene happens, and then we cut to who I didn't recognize him at first with his bald ass head. He cuts all of his dreads off, and presumably, Laenor and his boyfriend sail away off into the sunset together before the war goes down and anyone has to die. So they kind of got out early, unscathed. And so now what I can tell you is in the books, that fight scene was not staged. It was real. And that's how he exits the game. He is actually killed for whatever reason in a sword battle between 2 or 3 people. And then he's killed that way.
Yeah, I thought I heard that before too. Like there actually was somebody did actually kill him. I remember like kind of reading that or seeing that, whatever. So I was like, and that's why I thought like, oh shit, this is going down. Like, you know what I mean? And granted, I was like, I didn't hindsight. Like I said, looked at the charred body. I was like, the dreads, whatever. But no, when I watched, I was like, oh shit, they really got him out of here. Like that was quick.
Yep.
And then. And even though during that fight the other guy wasn't really winning either. Like it was like a tie. It was like they were like, you know what I mean? It wasn't even like, Yeah. So, but then we get the 52 fake out. We see Corlys or not Corlys, Laenor, and he takes the hood because we see the boyfriend and we see and I'm like, oh snap, they're getting out of there, and then we see it's a young black man with a bald head, and I'm like, yo, see that wasn't that nice of Rhaenyra. You know what I'm saying?
She's like the
that all up for the
mom
boy.
wife of the year. Yeah, she gave her gay husband a nice chest of gold, a free ship. Yeah. Well, the ship's probably his. Well, and the gold's probably his too because he's the richest family ever. So he probably has a bunch of gold anyways. But she just gave him this nice little out. They murdered an innocent person and burned their body for him. And I mean, what better way to send him off? So yeah, man. I mean, what a nice gesture she did for him. And I think we don't know yet if he's going to come back. He's a wild card right now because he is dead in the books. We're not sure if they'll continue his story in the show or not. But who knows? You know, he might come back with sea smoke and save Rhaenyra in a tricky spot during the dance. The show might switch that up. I'm not sure. Which is an interesting other fact. Can someone claim his dragon? Can someone claim sea smoke?
Oh.
Because what happens when you fake your death?
Maybe that was part of it, right? Maybe that was part of like, and Daemon was cool with it, you know what I mean? Because he's like, well, yeah, then now my daughter can get a dragon. You know what I mean? Because
like Daemon gets sea smoke.
Yeah, but I feel I was gonna say that maybe the uncle tried, but yeah, the uncle can't ride him because he's not. He
has his own
Targaryen. The uncle has his own too?
Oh no, I'm sorry. The uncle. Correct. Corlys is right. Corlys' brother. No,
Corlys' brother. Yeah, no, he can't. So
interesting.
Maybe that was part of the plot. You know what I mean? Because Daemon's a good strategist. So like,
yep.
You know what I mean.
And so that takes us to the end of the episode, man. Another one down, and I think it was solid. I mean, we had the funeral, we had the one eye incident, and then we pretty much just had the wedding. I think what they're calling now the black wedding again. Trailer for episode 8. You seen that shit? You definitely saw it. No, not yet.
Yeah, it was a lot. Like these. No, I did. Okay. But like, it's just so fast. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on. But we do see the time jump. We see the new Aemond, like ugly motherfucker 2, all grown up. Ugly motherfucker 1. Like he don't look that much. If that's. Or is that the youngest boy? Like, I don't know. Like, who?
Yeah, so they have a younger. They do. Yeah, they do. They do it weird. It's. I think the one. So ugly motherfucker 2 loses his eye, has the long hair, and I think. I'm not sure who we see.
Nah, he has like a. I thought he gets like a fade. I thought, or maybe he. He has like a shorter. I thought he has shorter hair.
That's number one. That's the old. That's Aegon.
With the blonde, right?
I think so.
The other. Okay. Maybe no. You know what? I think I kept seeing. You know what? With the actor, I kept seeing pictures of him, like in maybe something else, and and like he had brown hair. So like that's what was throwing me off. So.
Okay. I'm looking at the trailer now, and I'm honestly, it doesn't. And this is what I fucking. This is when they do the time jumps. I don't know who's who. Like the only reason I know the one's one because he's wearing an eye patch.
Yeah, that's all we know.
But. So basically, we see the king for next week is pretty much on his deathbed. Like, I'm almost positive we're finally done with the king after next episode. I'm thinking, because this is the next episode before the penultimate, I'm thinking king dies next week, and then episode 9 is like Dance of the Dragons, like into episode 10, maybe the end of the dance, episode 10. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. And it looked like the uncle was rocking with the Hightowers.
Yeah. So when Laenor mentions the battle, that he wanted to go to, but he was going to stay behind to be a good dad, that Corlys gets called to that battle. Corlys, I don't think we'll see in next week's episode. That's why his brother shows up to kind of take temporary power. Corlys' brother takes temporary power of his kingdom, and we see Otto Hightower take temporary access of the Iron Throne because the king's presumably on his deathbed, so now he's speaking as the hand of the king, as the king, and what we can assume is him making decisions not based on the king's recommendation, but based on his own and how he wants to play this game. And so, so we see that, and then of course we see Daemon and Rhaenyra, and they're talking, and he says, to King's Landing then, if that's what's happening. And then the battle of this, who will take the Driftwood throne, we hear within the trailer. So that's being questioned. We're not sure. I'm not 100% sure. My knowledge is escaping me currently if Corlys dies in a battle or not. And I think they might be hinting at that here because he's not in the episode. And I think that's why why Queen to be and Corlys's brother or half brother or her brother-in-law are talking like, who's going to take the throne? Like here, like, is it going to be one of the girls? Is it, is it going to be me? Is it going to be you? Like, what happens to Corlys? So we see more characters, and what we are going to see is we are going to see the Mistress of Whispers next week, aka Daemon's old girlfriend, who we haven't seen in a couple episodes.
Does she still look? Cause she was all right. Like, do you think is she like all old and haggard? Like,
no. She's. I think she's going to be pretty. I think she's going to be okay. I think she'll be pretty good looking, and she becomes, I believe, then just kind of a spy for Daemon and Rhaenyra when it comes to Civil War and everything else leading on for Team Black on that side of things. And then, of course, we see Otto Hightower and his daughter talking about the threat of war looming, and then just what we can probably presume as the king's death, probably at the end of that episode. And I think, another hot take and prediction, I think next week's episode might end with the king dying and Rhaenyra taking the Iron Throne.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
Just a prediction. That's a prediction. But I mean, other than that, man, like you said, the trailer, it's like a minute. It's only a minute long. And so it doesn't give us, you have to kind of like really break it down and pay attention. But it's just the story's going to continue. We're going to get a time jump. We see the kids still bickering with one another, the older One Eye and the other siblings, and that feud we can just assume is presumably just the blonde-haired kids making fun of the dark-haired kids because of who their father is or was or presumably never will be, and so that whole story just kind of continues.
Yep.
Well, man, other than that, thoughts on episode 7, excited for 8, penultimate's coming, and we're almost done, man. We are almost done.
We are almost done season 1 of both. I mean, obviously House of the Dragon and Recap and Record. I'm worried though. I thought, the move to get with Daemon, that was a power move, whatever. But they looking a little weak over there, what I mean, on that side, because who is really on that side? Because they probably losing court, like, because Corlys, I think that because they're worried about that, like oh, they're gonna think we set it up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So is Corlys really rocking with them? Because you got the brother look like he rocking with the Hightower. So I don't know. It's like, do they have enough firepower now? I don't know. It looks like they lost some firepower.
I think they did, but I think ultimately in the end, Corlys and his family are still on Team Black because of just their daughters and their connection to Daemon and now Rhaenyra. Okay. So now that Daemon and Rhaenyra are married, theoretically, can't once Rhaenyra takes the Iron Throne, can she not go to one of Daemon's girls and say, you're the new heir of the throne, because she's theoretically her now stepdaughter / Targaryen.
Yeah. It probably is in the works. Yeah, so I guess it probably still benefits
options. We've got
Valyrians to be Targaryens.
Yeah. So I'm excited, man. I can't wait to see where we go next week. I think we're going to see more dragon. We're going to see more like insane shit, because Alicent's going to keep getting like, you thought Cutner was bad. Well, wait till you see what happens when she gets, some firepower behind her, or tells her son to go do something with his new dragon. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But man, dude, another episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been episode 7 of Recap and Record. Thank our sponsors. Click those links down in the episode, down in the description below, wherever you're watching this. It helps us out, helps the pod out, helps them out, helps everyone watching. Leave a comment if it's nice, if it has anything to do with my voice, what we're talking about, a negative review, or any reason to hit the dislike button. I know that's all we're going to get now, but of course, feel free to just stop before you hit the submit button, you know what I'm saying? And so it's all good. It's all good in the hood. You know what I mean? Guess what? Hey, your comments, it's not original. Been uploading YouTube videos since like 2012, baby. So like, I'm used to it. So I'm gonna keep rocking with Ugly Motherfucker 1 and 2 and see where their stories take them. I'm gonna keep referring them to that. I don't care about their names anymore.
Fuck them kids,
I'll get
man.
Kristen.
Fuck
I'll get Kristen's name right, and I'll get Daemon's name right, and that's all I need. And everyone else their names don't matter.
Nope. So,
Episode 7.
You, man.
Yes, thank you, sir. Shout out to you. Have a great evening. Thank you guys for listening. Best episode yet. We'll talk to you later. Peace.
Peace.